Hello everyone. Today we will discuss about the concept of magnetic flux. You have already studied electric flux in electrostatics. So flux means flow. So if we are talking about magnetic flux, that means we are talking about the flow of magnetic field lines. So you have already studied this. So I'm just recapping the things. If you have a coil like this and you have different magnetic field lines, I can show only one over here, different magnetic field lines passing like this from a region. The number of magnetic field lines passing normally through an area placed in the magnetic field. This is called as magnetic flux. Now look at this coil. In case this is kept like this, the magnetic field will be, lines will be maximum. In case it is kept like this, the magnetic field lines will be 0. But in case it is oblique, the number of magnetic field lines will decrease, but it will not be 0. Because we know that if we have this perpendicular, all will pass. If this is parallel, nothing will pass. If it is oblique, then some will pass, right? So I can draw these three diagrams after defining it. So what is this magnetic flux? It is the number of magnetic field lines passing normally in passing normally through an area placed in magnetic field. So I can draw three diagrams where I can show different orientations of the coil. So if this coil is placed perpendicular, so I'm talking about this position. If this is placed perpendicular, now second position I am discussing is this place, and this coil is placed like this, and third position I am discussing like this, and this is placed in some oblique direction. So this is the oblique position of the coil. So the magnetic field lines are like this. We know that aerial vector has a direction which is perpendicular to the plane of the area. So if I am talking about this area, then aerial vector will have this direction, right? So we'll just mention it, that aerial vector is perpendicular to the plane of area, right? So what does that mean? That means that in this case our aerial vector will be in this direction. In this case our aerial vector will be in this direction, and in this case our aerial vector will be in this direction, right? We can see that here the magnetic field is in this direction, here the magnetic field is in this direction, and here in this direction. In this case the angle between aerial vector and magnetic field is 0 degree. In this case the angle between aerial vector and magnetic field is 90 degree, and in this case this is simply written theta. Now if we are talking about the third case, we can draw the two perpendicular and the parallel components of the aerial vector. So I'm just drawing this perpendicular component to show over here for this. If this is your aerial vector, so it will have this component a cos theta and this component a sin theta. So what does that mean? That means that there will be one component of area which is parallel to the magnetic field and one component of area which is perpendicular to the magnetic field. We know that here the magnetic field is along this direction. So it is very well understood over here that if we have aerial vector along magnetic field, then we have magnetic field lines passing through it. If we have aerial vector perpendicular to magnetic field, we don't have magnetic field lines passing through it. So in this case, if we talk about this as first, I'll mark this as first, this as second, this as third, and this as third A, and this case as third B, right? So you can see that from third A case, in third A case, this is your third A case. So in third A case, the angle, or you can say that A cos theta is along B, right? So in third B case, A sin theta is perpendicular to B. So this will allow magnetic field lines. Right? So that's why we can write the formula of magnetic flux, which is denoted by this. So flux can be written as B into area or you can write simply phi is equal to magnetic field into area, and this can be written as, if we are talking about general case, so this can be written as A cos theta, and in vector form this can be written as B dot A, right? Now we'll write the SI unit. SI unit of magnetic flux is Weber. If I want to find the dimensions of phi, I can find using phi is equal to BA. Why? Because cos theta has no dimensions, and this can be written as F upon QV into A, and this can be written F upon IT into V into A, and here we can write the dimensions M LT minus 2, L2 upon I is ampere, T is time, and this is LT minus 1. So from here I can cancel this time and this time, and this L and this L. So the dimensions of phi are M L2 T minus 2 A minus 1. Now I can mention the factors affecting the magnetic flux. So here factors affecting magnetic flux. So these factors as clear from the formula are, first is magnetic field, second is area, third is orientation of the coil, that is theta. So if we change any of these, flux can be changed. So flux can be changed by changing either magnetic field or area or the orientation of the coil. So this was all about magnetic flux. That's all for now. Have a nice day.